It's the 15th day of September. The clock on the wall says 11 o'clock. And we're locked and loaded for another episode of Voices. My name is Socrates, host of today's program. And we're going to go downtown firstly and give credit to our sponsors, without whom this program would not be possible. And then we'll be right back for a little chit chat. So see you on the other side.
Internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
It's TDC for me, TDC for we. Neighbor, partner, your family. The best is yet to come, believe me. Moving forward, moving with hey. TDC serve the nation with the best customer experience. TDC, you are the one for we. Happy anniversary.
Together we succeed, building on strong community, pressing onward to one destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
It's 11:03 in the studios of WINNMedia 98.9, and as I said, we're locked and loaded for another episode of Voices. Downtown SKN, it's beautiful. Well, I'm not in Nevis, but it's really beautiful downtown. There's a nice breeze, and we have this atmosphere of celebration. Tomorrow, we're actually 1 day away from celebrating on National Heroes Day, and we have a little discussion coming up later on as to how do you want to celebrate National Heroes Day, where you should go, stuff like that. But in the meantime, we want to sell out salutations to people like Bag of Sugar up in New York, Valentine Monish, Pete Troy in Antigua, Catherine Toronto, Dr. Leader, that's Marvin Leader up there in the U.S. Same as Dr. Sweeney, Culture, Lorna Lynchway, she's celebrating birthday today. Beulah, of course, my number one fan down there in Newton Ground. Amber, Zara, and Cleo, happy Independence celebrations to you. We are about 4 days roughly away from the 19th of September. We are celebrating our 40th Independence anniversary. And last, was it Wednesday, we had some folks, well, the CEO from the Independence Committee, and they were talking about the many programs they're entertaining for our celebration. It's just wonderful, that feeling of being able to, well, look back on 40 years. Some of us were there at the flag raising ceremony. We have great memories about that. We've come a long way. 40 years is nothing to sneeze at. Chris Collins can tell you he was there with his cameras at the time. And he would have documented that single moment where we saw a flag being raised just after midnight, the lowering of the Union Jack, and then the raising of our national flag with its 5 colors. And of course, we went through the symbolisms of what the colors mean to our country and all that. So we are one proud nation. As a matter of fact, about 3-4 days after, I recall being in my bed and seeing the first Prime Minister of the Federation, our Ambassador, William Herbert, and other dignitaries at the UN, presenting at the UN. That was a moment of pride within a short few days, because back then we didn't really have that all that viewing. So it just came just in time to see the first Prime Minister, Dr. Kenneth Simmons, and his others just going into the UN and doing their thing. It was wonderful. And somebody have an apology to make. They just walk in the studio, so we're going to put them on the spot. Once they get hooked up and connected, we're going to have that discussion with that person this morning. And today is Friday. Today is Friday, the 15th of September. And somebody was supposed to be here on Wednesday. Wednesday. That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. That's what you're here now. You're here now. So we are being joined by a guest who seems a bit puzzled because she's thinking, no, you tell me Friday. I told you tomorrow. We spoke on Tuesday. That was supposed to be Wednesday. Thank God it's Friday. We're in the studios of WINNFM, and we have been joined by, tell me when you're ready, a very dynamic, powerful young lady, a move-on shaker. And, of course, you would like to hear what she has to present. But I felt a little slighted. I thought it was stood up on Wednesday. But that's okay. It flowed. It's Friday, and you are here. Okay? After I'm going to have you make your presentation when you're set up. And then after the first commercial break, we'll go open. Well, okay. We're just going to change because I'll give you a chance to present your stuff. But that was my plan for today. Have an open mic and hear from the Federation what does independence mean to them, how they plan to celebrate. This kind of thing is our moment celebrating our 40th anniversary of independence in the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis. Want to engage the public in discussing what we have achieved, what we look back at, certain seminal moments in our development. It's just wonderful. Talking about our national heroes, those supposed to be nominated, folks who think that this or that person deserve that elevation to national hero status, and see what's going to happen on the 19th when they maybe mention persons who would be recognized for their contribution to the development of our federation. Right? So we're going to ask you to hold the lines until we open them up for the public. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Your voice is very recognizable, but I'm going to have you, I'll put it on the spot, to have you put a mic closer to you and talk to your public. Welcome to the studios of WINNFM.
Thank you for having me. Mm-hmm. I must defend myself, though,
Sure.
I was told Friday.
I was told Wednesday. I said tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there was miscommunication because I saw you at the event and the breadfruit and thing. I said, well, how come I ain't getting none? You know what I mean? Well, she stood me up and then she go on to share breadfruit and thing. And Trent, what is that?
I'm so sorry. It was a miscommunication.
Because I
but
know
I'm
you.
here.
I know you. And if there was something that you would call and say, well, I'm sorry, I'm late, blah, 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 blah. So definitely we had cross wires. So you're here now.
Yes.
Let's do it. So what's your claim to fame this morning?
Okay, so I am here to talk about the best taste breadfruit fries. However, it's not just a brand. I'm here because I actually wanna...
Who is I?
First, my name is Siobhan Richards, or Chev Rich. I'm known on social media or in music by Chev Rich. I'm known by, other persons professionally as Siobhan Richards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so people who know me, they would have known me in quite a few different capacities. But one of the capacities is that of entrepreneur. So I've been an entrepreneur for quite a few years now, most of my adult life, I would say. And I've also been involved in a number of social programs and so forth, movements and different things. And those persons out there who know me from Cocoa Plums, the only gluten-free restaurant on Ireland, we always kind of on the
You say Cocoa
the
Plums?
front. Cocoa Plums, that's what we operated. It is a gluten-free restaurant. Basically, we provide gluten-free items as well as a lot of vegan, definitely dairy-free, and what we call just alternative food, because there are a lot of persons out there who have very specific diets and can't eat a lot of stuff. So we kind of fit into that little slot and we fill that need. However, a lot of people are going to be upset with us because we have transitioned yet again, and we have decided to go into manufacturing. And this was the plan all along, but because our products are so different, having the restaurant was an easy way to introduce the populace, to sensitize the populace, and have them taste it. Because sometimes when you bring a product and you don't have a medium through which persons can taste it organically and, experience it, it sits on the shelf. And people like, what's that? I don't know, what's that? So we did that for a few years, and a lot of persons have come to know us as, okay, their stuff is different. For instance, we make milk, cheesecake from things like lima beans or lentils. So it's dairy-free.
You make milk from lima beans and lentils.
Yes, and it's wonderful. It's creamy, it's
Did you
thick.
bring any samples?
I'll get you some samples.
Because when we expected to hear Wednesday, Jamston, I was here waiting. We were salvinating. We're going to get some goodies.
I'm so sad. And I was really expecting Wednesday as well, but yeah. But what we've decided to do is to go into the manufacturing now, and we're concentrating on the breadfruit fries. And it's called Best Taste Breadfruit Fries, simple. And we have been making our rounds on social media and the island, giving out tons of samples, getting people to taste them, getting very good reviews. We had our launch at Mr. X's Shiggity Shack on Wednesday at 6. That was very good. Gonna be posting some footage from that. But more than just a business venture, this particular journey for us now with the breadfruit fries is something that we look at as being nation building, and that is why I'm here. It's not just to
at this particular time,
yes,
we are independent, celebrating our 40th anniversary.
So it's not just here, people, to plug my breadfruit fries. It's here because we know after COVID, right, a lot of economies are facing a lot of challenges. And small nations like ours, who don't have what you call a lot of, I don't like to say it that way, but
resources.
we say we don't have a lot of natural resources, because we often think about oil, gold, bauxite, those sort of resources. But we tend to have two major resources here in St. Kitts. For one, we have the human resource, which is, to me, very much untapped and underdeveloped. And then we have the natural resource. The fact that the island's name is Layamiga, which means fertile soil. We have the potential to do a lot as far as agriculture. But over the years, we keep saying, buy local. And we have no... Oh, God, sorry, I thought I turned that off. I apologize.
Means you're busy, you're.
I am. So we have noticed that we say buy local, but we've noticed that this slogan, this saying, has not yielded much progress, right? And one of the things that we notice, even in running the restaurant and so forth, is that Kittitians' palate has changed. Whereas before, what we call ground food, what we call local dishes, they're very timely to prepare. You can cook some goat water, You can cook a traditional pot of soup,
So we're going fast.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that is American influence, but when we say American influence, we often blame Kititians in saying that we want to be American. But I feel it's just globalization.
Marketing.
Yeah. And then it's also that persons, we have as a nation signed on to a lot more international agreements, and our lives have changed. Whereas I'm sure when you were younger, your mother had a yard. You could just go and knock up a tenement.
Yes, and we grew peas and cassava and all those stuff.
You could have your pig over there. You could have had some fowl.
We had fowl.
The way our lives are organized now, you cannot have these things in a residential area anymore. You cannot just knock up your little quartel to the back of your mother. You have to go planning, and you have to have all this stuff. So we have the very act of modernization.
Assimilated.
Yeah, it has really forced us now to have to make a living even more. So you have a lot of Kititians having 2 and 3 jobs now, and the grind is real, right? And then even after COVID now, where a lot of those jobs, even in tourism, have dried up and stuff, they're coming back, but they're not quite there yet. We have a lot of persons who are struggling to make it. So we sat down and we've been thinking about these things for a long time, and we realized that agriculture is something that the nation can really pay attention to, but we have to do it through new lens. We can't just think, okay, I'm going to plant the food and that's it, people going to buy it. People don't have time to be buying, peeling, cooking, prepping. When you have a mother who goes to work early in the morning, she come home maybe at 4 or 5 to go back and do another job. Children are there, schoolwork to do. Our lives have changed. So we need a lot more convenience. So when you look around at the average Kititian diet, it's no longer the national dish we have. That ain't it no more. It looks closer to KFC or fries and chicken or stuff like that, fast food, unfortunately. So when we look at the impact on our people's health, when we said we brought in, I think it's 10 dialysis machines, I get sad. Because I'm like, okay, well, we have to start paying attention. And when you look at a lot of the fries, Kititians needs a ton of fries. And when you look at the traditional potato fries, they're so unhealthy.
When you look at the waistline, you forget the waistline?
Yes, we expand. The land ain't expanding, but we expanding in that way, And so we have quite, not just the breadfruit fries, but we have quite a number of products to replace a lot of these convenience products that Kititians have grown accustomed to, but do it in a healthier way, in a palatable way, somewhere that they can enjoy it, and in a convenient way, but also in a way that the whole country benefits. Because when we're bringing in all these foreign food, I think I read something, I could be wrong, don't quote me, I think it was like over 400, I could be wrong, but I swear it was like over 400. Oh God, I don't even want to say it. Let me say 4. It was not 4 million, but it was a ton, like millions of dollars of food that we import.
You know what percentage? What about 80% of what we consume?
Exactly. That's scary.
Because even with farmers, sometimes the market gets oversaturated with the same thing.
Exactly.
They all plant the same thing at the same time, and it creates a glut.
Yes.
So the approach that you're taking, farming is good, but you have to know how to husband it properly.
Yes.
Okay, so the breadfruit, it was called Best
Taste, very
Best Taste
simple.
breadfruit. So you
Taste the
had
best.
your was it a launch?
We had a launch and tasting.
On tasting. What was the turnout? What was the reception? What was the feedback?
We got a lot of really good reception and feedback because the area we were at as well, we met a lot of different persons, like from different hotels. People have restaurants.
That's important.
Yes. We've had quite a bit of interest coming from Nevis as well, so we're sorting that out. We even have interest coming from Anguilla and some neighboring islands, so we're sorting ourselves out,
Okay.
And like even with the glut you spoke about, it's not just plant food. You have to have a plan. And agro-processing to us, as I've said so much times, is the missing link. When we had the restaurant, you would see persons come, oh my God, a farmer. I have 3 crocus bag of sweet peppers that didn't get sold. Can you do something with it? So we've learned to pickle peppers, pickle everything, preservation in natural ways that don't involve these chemicals that exactly. But us alone, we alone can't do it on that small level.
But there are the agro-processors here, right?
Well,
is there a link?
I don't think there's enough. I think that you have the Taiwanese mission, I think, that has like a little thing at Needmus that you can go and you can use like the dehydrator and certain things, and the Taiwanese help a lot with packaging. But I think on a national basis, we need to have more of a holistic plan.
I know a couple of guys who are part of the Farmers Cooperative, and they are agro-processors. I can't give a name off my head, but
we have the CMOS, you have quite, but again, I don't think that we have approached it in a holistic way. We're very compartmentalized. We're doing it. You have the CMOS people over here doing their own thing. I can't even name another co-op, but you have different people making little products.
Okay.
But we need to start thinking holistically, as in the whole nation. So one of the things we've done is sit down and we've identified, okay, what are the areas, what do Kittitians eat the most? What do they need the most? I don't subscribe to this, milk, flour, what it's staples, the basics that are subsidized, milk, flour, sugar. I mean, if you look at that, those 3 things alone that people love to quote as if, well, the milk gone up, the sugar, these are the things that are making our people sick, and these are the things that are subsidized.
So in other words, you're saying the days of 10 dumplings in a plate gone?
Gone. You replace it. Like I have dumplings that are made from, what about cassava dumplings? Those are old time days dumplings, they're bang too, right? We have oatmeal dumplings. You can make dumplings from different things, and this is what we're trying to get people to see, that we're not trying to get you to give up your favorite taste.
I think you may have gotten Chris Collins to stop what he was doing because you're talking food and stuff. But here's what we have to pause to give credit to our sponsor at this moment in time, and we'll be right back to hear more of those delectables they're talking about. Okay? So take us down, John Trent.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste. Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
And we're back. It's 11:25 and we're chatting with Chef Rich. She's here to talk about some products she's Okay, she's a very dynamic person. So she's, I know as an entertainer, but today we're talking about best tasting breadfruit and some other product that they're putting together. So we're gonna keep the lines open lines down for that interaction. Folks might want to know where and how and when, and the health benefits of what you're pushing today. Bag of sugar, how are we doing up there? Let's hear from you now, Chef.
Good.
Oh, by the way, Bag of Sugar is very interesting in what you're presenting because she eats very healthily.
Okay.
Very, very. So what you're saying, she's always learning from. So give it to her.
Thank you. I'm so happy that persons are out there listening. And I do think that Kititians want to eat better and they want to have better health. But life happens. And as I said in the beginning, things have changed. It's not as simple as it was 20, 30 years ago. And we have to find ways to adapt. And it's my belief that as a country evolves and grows, that yes, of course, we're going to concentrate on things like education, economic development, but we also have to concentrate on people as well. Yeah, the development of our people and the progression of our people. And I feel that you cannot boast that your country is progressive if you do not have that consideration of the individual at the core. They tell us country above self, and I often tell them we have to look at the self as well, because if you have a people who are neither looking after themselves health-wise, who are not mentally mature or healthy, then the whole is sick. So you have to pay attention to the individual as well.
You will hear people saying that it comes down to economics. They've questioned medical practitioners about eating healthy and spoken about how expensive it is to eat healthily.
Well,
what do you say to that?
Sometimes
are your products geared towards that thinking?
Yes, and right now, even where the price is at, we've spoken to like different restaurants, and they tell us, okay, it's a good price, but we plan to have it grow and to really encompass the whole island and to create opportunities and wealth, not just for us, but for the average person. How we look at it, if you have a breadfruit tree in your yard, you don't have a job, you have a job, right? Because what we're trying to do is to just the level at which fries are consumed in St. Kitts alone, never mind regionally, the demand for breadfruit is going to be great.
So is it breadfruit chips or breadfruit fries?
It's fries, like, like the French fries. And the way that we prepare it, though, because a lot of people tell us, I don't like breadfruit. It's chalky to drink it, you eat it and drink water, or it has this taste. But we have come up with a way. We like to call ourselves food engineers, right? So we've learned the characteristics of the breadfruit and how to treat it to get it to the texture and the taste that you want without chemicals, right? And so when you eat it, like we served it over at X's on Wednesday, and it had some tourists in there, and they were like eating it. And one the lady was like, I didn't know. I thought it was regular fries.
Really?
So it's
but it tastes different than regular fries.
Well, it tastes better to me, but to her, she was just eating, Other people tell us they prefer it because it has a nicer taste. It's crispy on the outside, it's light, it's creamy, and it's just fantastic. I'm definitely going to get it. But we do believe that industries like these, that we can bring down the cost of food. One of the reasons why food and even to eat healthy is so expensive is that a lot of almost everything comes from overseas. So I tell people we're making easy, but we spend in US because we're bringing in everything. So it's like you're paying more just the act of importing, right? So if we can look at indigenous, well, I don't know if the breadfruit is indigenous. The amount of time I would say that by now, but if we look at plants and the resources that we have locally, right, I think that we can provide for ourselves industries that can thrive, that can be scaled, and that can provide employment and, enrichment for the whole population.
Can you speak to the medicinal properties of the breadfruit?
Breadfruit, First of all, one of the things about the breadfruit is that it's extremely high in fiber. So if you handle the breadfruit right, and you you make like mashed breadfruit or anything, I'm gonna give them a little lesson now. When you mash it and you realize you're churning it and you realize it getting stiffer and it giving you a workout, that's because the fiber in it is so strong, right? But it's smooth. That's how it
you would
holds
advise
together.
that add milk because some people at the point add milk.
And you don't even need to me. And if you're gonna add milk, I would say find yourself a good plant-based milk, right?
Almond milk?
You have almond, you have all sorts of milk on the market now from soy. I don't like soy, but personally, I just think it tastes disgusting. But you have even peas milk and different, like this one called
You mentioned a milk that you guys
yeah, we
make
have the
also.
lima bean. Our milk is they're like pea protein milk. You have some of that now on the market as well. Before it was just like the nut milks. You have the coconut milk. That is so easy to make. You literally throw it in your blender and wring it out, right?
So I don't want you to go into the recipe, but just the breadfruit, because some time ago I was actually doing something. Somebody, how you say you can't cook? Out of my absent time, chopping up to put it. Oh, you say you can't cook it? Smart.
Oh my gosh.
So I was having some squash breadfruit, but there's a lot more to breadfruit than that. And I think the first shipment from the South Pacific was to St. Vincent in the region. So when you ask about if it's really indigenous to St. Kitts, it was they were brought to the region for the express purpose of feeding the enslaved on the
Yes,
plantation.
I've heard that.
It's a fact. And some time ago, there was a study done by the Olympic community. And why is Usain Bolt so fast?
All those steroids, all those natural steroids that occur in
they
breadfruit.
banned him from eating breadfruit.
Nonsense.
I got it from Jason Rogers, an Olympian. They found that there was a natural steroid in the breadfruit that bulked you up.
That's nonsense, though.
Right? And well, that was the thinking.
Well, not as nonsense that it's there. I mean, the banning of it. Yeah.
It explained why the enslaved were that strong, because they fed them a healthy diet of breadfruit. And so that created a stigma. After emancipation, we shied away from breadfruit. Only the poorer class would be found eating it. There was stigma to it. And so we fed it to our pigs.
I heard that too. And, it's strange.
I'm telling you, I'm not that young. I've been over some time. But we fed breadfruit to the pigs.
Yeah.
And if you're known to be an eater of breadfruit, people look down upon you.
And I would think that, like, okay, if I speak to my husband, he tells me that side of it. But the family that I grew up with, I never had any of that type of stigma from that. And certain parts, certain people in my family were considered to be well off, right? And then when I dealt with other people, like a farmer boss of mine, these were Lebanese people and people who were well off, that's, how we view it, and different shades. They embrace and love these foods. I understand.
We
but
link that to emancipation.
For us, it's a trauma.
And how it affected us and was used.
It's a trauma. And you see, these are the things this is one reason why I say, as we progress as a nation, we have to start looking at these things, looking at the people, not just are the roads paved, there are people coming in, are people spending money, but looking at the mental health of our people, our traumas. How can we improve the average Kittitian by looking at these things? You have countries like in the Netherlands and stuff, they don't even like drug use. We have weed here. We look around and I say it all the time. A lot of these young guys, they're smoking so much weed. Weed is not an issue, but weed, like food, we have a lot of food addiction that we don't ever talk about. Anything can be addictive. And a lot of these young guys are using the weed as a form of escape, right? Because a lot of them feel that they're not motivated. They can't see where they're going in life. They don't see a future. So it's like in other countries, instead of looking at drug use, and I'm not saying weed is drug use, but that's predominantly weed, alcohol. We have a little crack coming in now and again. But instead of looking at your people through judgmental eyes and no empathy and looking at problems as your fault, look at it holistically and say, okay, how is our culture? How is our nation providing are causing these problems. And doing like countries like those and saying, okay, we're not going to stigmatize drug use. We're going to treat people as if you're ill, just like any other illness. We're going to find out what are the issues causing you to have to look to these things. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as a country, as a nation, I think we are at a stage where we can start to not treat our people like just numbers in the census, but actual individuals, and understand that when you build an individual, the nation is stronger.
Who in the establishment have you had this conversation with? Because we're talking about breadfruit, but here you go, here is a whole, you understand? So I hear you, I see your vision, I sense your passion, but who in the establishment, Department of Health, have you reached out to with this approach?
In the past, we have reached out to some persons and stuff, but that's another, it's interesting. That's why when I started, I said this journey, right? Because I'm looking around, I'm looking at the after effects of COVID. I'm looking at the economy. I myself, everybody know. Everybody, it's tough for everybody globally, right? And as much as I talk about, the system helping the individual, I want to encourage the individual to help themselves. And the reason why we even love this breadfruit program is because we're taking something like a breadfruit that you so rightly described as being hug food to some, linked to our traumas, linked to that feeling of being powerless. And we're taking this breadfruit that seems so insignificant and showing persons that this can not only build out your pocket, but it can build a whole industry that will support the nation and improve our lives, right? So as far as approaching government and stuff, we've decided, we come from a culture in St. Kitts as well, where we want government to step in first on everything.
You keep forgetting Nevis, get in trouble.
And Nevis. You're
gonna get in trouble.
I have a whole bunch of family in Nevis, so y'all know. But so instead of going and saying, okay, government, can you spearhead this? We're trying to show people, like, we have literally started this in our home, and it's growing. And we're trying to show persons that we're going to have to find a way as individuals to lift ourselves up, to look around and find resources, find answers to help ourselves. We cannot, it's so unreasonable to think that a cabinet of people, a handful of people, can solve our issues. And as we look on, we realize that no matter what they do or don't do, there's going to be issues, because even class-wise, you have a lot of professionals who go into government, but then the common man has common man issues. And so we can't imagine that one set of people can see
when
for
are we going to see in
everyone.
Parliament?
Me?
Because you sound like you're on the floor already. But let me lend emphasis to the point you made. A family member of mine brought a lady friend here from Jamaica. In a short space of time, she brought her brother. In a short space of time, he set up a business at the foot of the road by the cinema.
I know which one you mean.
Killing with breadfruit.
Yes.
And nightly, weekly, petitions, divisions flocking there. So here's somebody who came from outside, so to speak. I don't have to highlight his nationality. And he's making a killing of the same breadfruit that we kicked. As a matter of fact, at one point when we were kids, that was football. Making a killing. And I look at that. But the packaging and the way you're doing it now, I hope you can get, I won't say in the supermarkets, but get it on the shelves.
We are in Value Mart now.
You're in Value Mart now? We'll talk about these things, man.
We, and I must shout out Value Mart. They have been so...
Talk about
they
these
have been
things.
so amazing, and they have treated us with such dignity. And again, I want to talk about dignity for our people, because a lot of times you go to, I've done smaller stuff. You go to supermarkets, you go to shops, and they say, bring it, buddy. If you don't sell well, come back quick. And they shove it in a corner underneath 3 stacks of stuff. Nobody is showing anybody when they come in the store. Well, you're not selling, so you have to go home with it. And that's the attitude that we've had to deal with a lot of, agro-processors and entrepreneurs. But Value
That's something
Mart,
called perseverance.
yes, but Value Mart called and they were like, bring this. And they treat you with such professionalism.
So if I went in after the show, what aisle would I find it on? A little plug here, but
It's in the frozen section. It's in the
Frozen
frozen section.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they're sold out. But if you go there after 3,
Imagine that.
if
After
you go
3
after
today,
3, I would have restocked.
tomorrow is the holiday. Tomorrow is the 16th. So if one need to get that today, gotta go after 3 today.
Yes, because we're restocking.
662
We sold out yesterday.
0989 gets you in on the conversation. 466 0989 762 0989. The lines are open. Have a conversation. We're talking about a local entrepreneur who's taken breadfruit, a staple that's much overlooked and people struggle with corn, and made it into a product as part of a journey of changing the whole, what's what I'm looking for?
The stigma, the attitude, the perspective of Kititians and the resources that we have. That's
It's a different word, but a politician in Trinidad pronounced it paradigm.
Oh,
Yeah.
a
I
new
think
paradigm.
It was the Prime Minister's wife of Trinidad who called it paradigm.
Oh. Well, English-speaking people butcher
Yeah, but if
different
you're the
languages
PM
all
wife,
the time.
and you're making a public address, and you call paradigm in Trinidad, you're looking for blows.
Well, I'm sure she connected with a whole bunch of persons who were not sure how to pronounce that word.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you're one of the outlets that will have your products later on today is Value Mart.
Yes. You can also purchase the fries at Mr. X's Shiggity Shack.
Okay.
Yes, you can. Our number as well is 665-7612, and we make deliveries daily. So, if you want to order, we deliver out to different persons.
Okay.
And we're in discussions, I'm going to say it, we're in discussions with Rams right now. So once we get that sorted out, our goal, is to reach everywhere. We're gonna go to the rural side, like back down to Sandy Point area, and make it available.
Of course.
Mr. Warner, I'm coming to you. Dollar Stretcher. We want to make it accessible to as many persons as possible.
By the way, we're going to go to commercial break when the engineer returns. On the 19th of November, we'll be launching the Black Sand Strip. It'll be a sunset cruise. The tour starts from Charles Fort, as we know the Lazaretto. We'll be touring Sandy Point, down in the street, then down to Fig Tree. There'll be live entertainment, the cultural performers, you're going to steel band, and we'll be launching that. We're going to have weekly events, fish fry, and this and that. So you can get to the 2 main proprietors down there. There's a market. Where you from?
Sandy Point,
understand
and you know
what
why that is so amazing to me, because I don't know if people might remember, in 2015, we launched a project called Destination Sandy Point. And this was what we wanted. We wanted tours. We wanted to make you have the whole strip down there. 2 different strips we proposed to bring economic activity to Sandy Point, because Sandy Point has so much history, forts. I think the first hospital. I'm so happy.
The first one was down back way, so you go down the street and see parts of it. Boston was the second. And so we're highlighting that on that day, the 14th. It's part of Tourism Week. So they make it part of the launch. And every Sunday you're going to have activities down there. It's called the Black Sand Strip.
I'm so happy because...
We have the figure-based strip.
Wow.
We're going to not replicate. You've been to oysters in Barbados? Major Wilkins, the fishermen, the fish fry, the shellfish. So people know every Sunday you have some place to go.
Exactly.
We launch, so you have a chance now to get your product out there.
Wow.
right?
I'm happy because, as I said, since 2015, and things like this is why I know I'm here to promote the product as well, but I want people to understand it's not just about the product, it's about the message and the meaning behind it. We plan to be a major manufacturer of breadfruit fries, which what breadfruit fries is saying it. Breadfruit trees is saying it.
We lost a lot during Hurricane Hugo.
But let me tell you,
there's the tons still.
there are lots and lots. But this, if you don't have a job, you can look breadfruit, you can do different things. It opens up because when one industry begins to thrive, there are other industries that spin off from it, other opportunities that come from it.
A young man came by my house yesterday. Socrates, look out. He have avocados.
Oh.
And so he offered me 2 for $5. I went to look at them and said, "Do you have change?" Yeah, wait now. He didn't have change. So he said, "I'll give me 5 for 10. Then somebody said to me, "You shouldn't buy from me because you don't go on this person tree and that person tree." But I saw it as supporting somebody who was trying to help themselves.
Yes.
I saw it as supporting somebody. And there are many young men around town, many vendors, I just do it because I want to help, not because I can afford it.
No.
Right? So
I have done that a lot. Give them I have like $1 $5.
Yes.
And I buy something 'cause I know what it is like to be in that position, asking people to purchase on the street. I've done everything. We've walked around and sold on the street. As I tell you, this is a journey. This is not something that we just started. We've seen the highs and the lows.
662-0989, 762-0989, 466-0989. Guess you're in on the conversation. We're talking with Chef Rich and we're talking things most creative. Is that your phone, right? Okay.
Oh,
Right.
I never said we get a call.
I thought so, but my friend is not there at the moment, so we have to fill in the space, so to speak. So, your launch, the reception, you now have outlets, etc. You will, in terms of volume, will you be able to maintain that demand? If
Everybody asks us that, right? And believe me, it like everything else, I don't expect it to not have challenges. But we sat down, and one of the things that makes this venture so different, it's its ability to be scaled and to incorporate other persons. Like, I have persons now coming, and like just yesterday, I think a guy messaged me and he said, "I can provide you breadfruit," and we had like, yes, we went to Monkey Hill. We don't normally pick our own. We don't have the time. But now and again we go. And you should have seen the rod. The rod was like 30 feet long, right? With a knife on the end. But we wanted to check out the trees up there and stuff, and the type of breadfruit, because each breadfruit has its own characteristics, right?
Talk to me about that.
Some are smooth. Yes, some are very smooth. Some are...
we hear about potty mango, Bolton mango. Do you have names for these breadfruits?
We need to come up with some. They're just, different. And then it's not even just the type of breadfruit, but the stage at which you get it.
For those baking, like for me, I like them ripe.
Yes.
Yellow and busting up.
And the sweet when they like that.
Right.
And we don't know, in some Indonesian countries and like over there and stuff, they actually use breadfruit as baby formula, baby food. When it ripes, it's really, really ripe, they use that and feed it to the babies, and it's formula.
Well, there's some school of thought that, medical said, don't eat rice, don't eat flour, eat breadfruit. It's good for diabetics. It's good for hypertensive.
Because it's breadfruit is an amazing food. But I've come to realize that most food that's natural are amazing. Things like breadfruit stand out again because the sheer size of a breadfruit. Like, I know they're doing studies even in Alaska, where they're saying breadfruit can actually be one of the answers to poverty, right? Food security. In Alaska, we're cold. We're no breadfruit growing, right? And because even though sometimes you might have rice and stuff, I don't think rice is bad. I think this view that first of all, we know one type of rice. There are thousands of breeds of rice, and each having
the
its
black
own
rice?
exactly its own benefit. And rice on itself is not bad. Like for me, I choose rice that's as much as possible organic, and it's totally fine. A lot of time it's the chemicals on the food, not necessarily the food. But breadfruit is dynamic in the sense that it's just big. Right? So, and it bears so plentiful, and we used to think it had a season, but not really. We've learned that there's this weird thing that happens on the island where, like, if you go to Sandy Point area and they're in season, in Keon and those areas, they may be budding or they may be young on the tree. And then when these over here finish now, it flips. So you can actually get breadfruit all year.
Talk to your audience. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. Good day, caller. You're live on.
Greetings, King Son.
Good morning. You're live. Okay.
Sorry about the feedback there. I didn't want to miss a word.
Okay. You're on.
Extending the greetings to your guests in studio. Okay. Give thanks for the choice of entrepreneurship. Yeah. Using Mama Earth to share with the people. Your breadfruit very versatile, I'm just about to go roast one, and would you believe, just when you described it, I just pick it up Adrian lamb tree. It's split already upon the tree, so I don't know what's
Off food tree, Adrian lamb tree?
I've been in Jamaica for a while, and we notice how them do it, them pick breadfruit, pull out, drag out the stem there and just put them down for a day or two till they get to a certain stage, and yeah, it's irie. So best wishes going forward, yeah?
Thank you.
And listen now, what you do? You bake, you fry, what you do? What you do? The chips them?
The chips come frozen and you prepare them yourself at home. You fry them just like, do you eat normal French fries?
Fry them, okay, me hear you fry them. What kind of oil you use?
I personally do not use soybean oil, just the fact that it's highly GMO'd. I use things like palm oil, coconut oil, different oils for different temperatures. You can use olive oil.
Come frozen from where?
Sorry?
You said the breadfruit then come frozen. Come frozen from where?
You can get them now at the at Valuemat supermarket.
Yeah, what's them source? Where them get them
Hold on. Let me clarify. Eli X, what she's saying, that she prepares it, and that's where you can find it, frozen.
Good.
This is Eli.
Okay,
Yeah.
Follow you.
Yes,
Great.
that's an outlet.
Great.
Eli, you have visited our restaurant in Sandy Point. Remember, with the bread, the flat bread, and the breadfruit fries and the veggie rolls.
You want to this venture, yeah?
Yes.
Man, that's great. Yeah, man, me taste your food, man. How you mean? Me dine with you. Best wishes going forward. And long time you not see me, but you soon see me face. Me not having no dentures right now, so me not depend eating. Me more on liquid food,
I understand. I wish you all the best.
Best wishes, man. I mean,
Thank you.
Don't say tasty. Me tell you. Give thanks here for Ozzy.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Blessed love.
Okay, bye.
You have a caller? Okay, we have a comment. This comes from Rosemary Donald up in New York. She says, so refreshing to hear. She is on point. Did not get her name. Wishing her the best and looking forward to purchasing her products one day.
Thank you. I'm Siobhan Richards, also known as Chef Rich. Thank you, Rosemary. And you're going to love them. They're delicious. But yeah, I mean, we really feel. There's a call. Oh, hello. Hello. Good morning. Oh, we lost that.
We got about 6 minutes before we break for the midday newscast, so if you can get a call to try to get back. And, caller, good morning, 11 Voices. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, the King, and I wish to say good morning to your beautiful guest in
Chef
the
Rich.
studio.
Yes.
Good morning.
I'm impressed with your innovative way of presenting something that we so accustomed of, even the stigma. But yes, I wish you best of success, because the irony about it, we don't support our own the way we need to support our own.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the success story will come along with that. You will grow, you will thrive.
Thank you.
But a few things, the King. It is known as the Artocarpus altilis in the scientific circles, and it was brought in from Tahiti
Yes,
in the
South Pacific.
Polynesian islands.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, commissioned by Captain Blois, but it was commissioned, brought in by Captain Blois, but it was commissioned by an aristocrat, Blois, yes,
Captain
by
Blois.
aristocrat named Joseph Banks,
Mm-hmm.
who was a botanist. Botanist, yes. We do that. We explain, because the breadfruit is so prevalent on our landscape that on our tours we explain about that. But yes, the breadfruit needs to be asserted. It needs to take front and center stage in our diet. And I like the way you really elaborate on the health aspect of it. Apart from your promotion in your own product, it is healthy, so we cannot go wrong. Because obviously something is wrong with our diet. The dialysis machine and other machines that are bringing in. Mm-hmm. And we are eating. Mm-hmm. But I beg to differ with you. You have your own choice in terms of the grains and the rice, but most of it is arsenic. And we eat in the proportion of the rice that is more arsenic than what you call the wild rice. Because you go to the store and you're in the grocery store, and one will choose to pick up the ordinary rice, maybe because of the price.
Exactly.
And speaking about the price also, what would you prefer? To spend now and eat healthy, or to spend after in your old days, in your old age, when you don't even have it, to get dialysis treatment? Thanks to the Prime Minister for reducing the cost for, the time that person will go on the dialysis machine. Mm-hmm. But all of that can be avoidable. Mm-hmm. It is time we get it right. And you have been there, and we have to lend our voices to these discussions. So keep on doing the good work. I'm vegan, so I don't mind taking your thing. It's just that the concern would be, if you're going to deep fry, the oil is something that you have to know that the oil can take that heat.
Mm-hmm. You have to know which oil.
It can become as, so be cognizant of such like.
And you can also air fry it or bake it as well.
Thanks, folks.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. We got about 10 minutes before we pause, but let me get this in there because he mentioned Captain Bligh. Mm-hmm. These were the plants on the Bounty. You may have read the book or seen the movie Mutiny on the Bounty. Mm-hmm. These were the plants on that ship, the Bounty, being transported from the South Pacific to the region when that mutiny occurred. Oh. The crew thought that Captain Bligh was reserving the water for the plants.
Oh.
They were going dehydrated. And that was one cause of the mutiny. But the breadfruit plants were the ones being transported on that ship, the Bounty, at the time of the mutiny.
Oh,
Facts.
Wow, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And so we got about 2 minutes, so if you want to talk to your audience until we pause for the newscast, go ahead.
Okay, so Best Taste Breadfruit Fries available at Value Mart. You can also call 665-7612. Also available at Mr. X Shiggity Shack, and soon we hope to have them in all major supermarkets and little shops around the island. But I just want to leave with a message to the average Kititian. Like you asked a question, Socrates, earlier about me going to government and stuff. And when I look at other countries like the US and stuff and other places, they have a lot of innovative thinkers. They have a lot of persons who get up and who do things. And it's not that I don't think that Kititians can be innovative. I think that we lack confidence and we allow persons to discourage us.
Well, I want to thank you for being a pioneer.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for what you're doing, for presenting today. And you're free to come back anytime. If you want to stick after the newscast, you're free to do so. It's now 12 o'clock, and we have to pause for the Win FM's midday newscast. Okay?
Lovely. Thank you.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
With the Win FM headline news, I am Yulana Weeks. Locally, hot temperatures is straining Skellex power generation. Police issued wanted bulletin for September 11 murder suspects. The details and more straight ahead. An increase in energy demand is having a direct impact on the St. Kitts Electricity Company's capacity to generate electricity, explained the company's general manager, Mr. Jomo Williams.
Okay, in general, naturally you would expect that your energy demand will be growing every year. Now, currently the peak demand for St. Kitts is around 28.4 megawatts, I heard this morning. Which is an increase of just about 1 to 2% over last year. And that is pretty much in line with what we expect the annual growth to be. Now, the challenge that we face at Skellig is that our capacity, our generation capacity, pretty much exactly mirrors the demand at this current time.
He made those comments during Wednesday's Power Talk on ZIZ.
Now, sometime back, we had some critical failures on some generators, I think late last year, and all of the generators are not back in rotation as yet. We got one of the 3 back, we have 2 more. So whenever there are any challenges at the plant, whether it be from a fuel leak, whether it be from whatever, we would have to engage in some sort of power outage affecting customers. It's rather unfortunate. It's not something that we wish to do, but it's a preventative measure that we have to take in order to prolong the life of the asset. Now, I usually tell people it's rather to be without electricity for half an hour than to damage the equipment and then we have to do load shedding for 6 months.
Over recent months, conversations heightened about possible major investments in power generation for St. Kitts. Williams said the investment will need to be made in short order.
In the near future, significant investment definitely would have to be made within the power generation system, whether it be through the installation of new backup generators or renewable energy sources such as solar farms, geothermal plants, hydrogen plants, whatever the renewable energy facility is. But these are the things that we at Skellig are definitely planning towards, and we know we are going through a difficult period right now. We ask the general public to be understanding and note that we exercise due care and attention when carrying out these repairs, but they are definitely unavoidable. Right?
Also a guest on Power Talk, Mr. Jonathan Kelly, Skellig's engineering manager, explained that with increased temperatures, Skellig noticed that a lot of power demand is being driven by cooling loads, thereby reducing the margin between daytime and nighttime peak.
There's a trend, if we were to have some statistics from maybe the Department of Statistics and stuff like that, there are more ACs being installed in the average household now. You know, persons finding the Lasco fans not sufficient. So persons are putting in ACs now. And as a result of that now, here at Skellig, we're starting to see that there's a closing in the margin between the actual daytime peak and the nighttime peak. It's coming very, very close because persons now are demanding more energy at night as well.
Jonathan Kelly added that even though the summer months have passed, Skellig has not yet seen that drop-off in electricity demand and does not envision a drop-off before November or December. Skellig, he said, has seen the highest demand for electricity in the month of October for the past few years. In 2023, the hottest temperatures in history were recorded. July in particular was the hottest month, and based on information and analysis from weather experts, the heat is expected to continue for the rest of the year. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force on Thursday evening, September 14, seeking the assistance of the public to locate 2 persons of interest in relation to the country's 21st homicide. Danny Blake, 21, and Elvis Blake, 22, both 5 feet 6 inches tall, are the suspects identified for the September 11 murder of Kevon Smith of New Road, St. Kitts. Smithon was fatally wounded with a knife whilst working at the central gas station on the evening of September 11. When police arrived on the scene, they noticed the young man lying motionless on the ground with a knife lodged in his back and multiple lacerations about his body. A police report states, quote, initial inquiries indicate that Mr. Smithon was accosted by 2 armed assailants while attending to vehicles. The assailants reportedly struck and stabbed him about the body several times before fleeing the scene. end quote. Anyone with information about the whereabouts of Danny Blake and Elvis Blake are encouraged to immediately contact the nearest police station or the Violent Crime Unit at 467-1887 or 467-1888.
Regionally,
while Ghana's non-permanent election to the UN Security Council is to push for global peace and security, President Finale said as he addressed a forum in Washington, D.C. The president said one of the more pressing issues is to have a UN resolution on the crisis in Haiti, which has been ongoing for decades. According to the president, while the attention has been placed on a number of other global challenges, little has been done to assist Haiti.
Haiti has been a longer problem than Ukraine. But all the commentators and all the analysis forget that Haiti exists. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves why. Why? We see tremendous effort globally on getting consensus on Ukraine. And we laud that because we are part of it. We are part of ensuring that every country must have peace and stability, and their territorial integrity must be defended.
President Ali said to bring some stability to Haiti, there has to be an honest and frank conversation among big countries on what role they can play to bring that situation under control.
We can also approach global problems based on an uneven hand. And frankly speaking, Haiti has not been getting the type of global attention that it deserves in this time of crisis. Look at the news coverage and check what percentage of news is dedicated to Haiti and what percentage is dedicated to the other issues we have globally.
The Caribbean Community CARICOM has appealed for assistance in dealing with the situation in Haiti, so much so that the regional bloc has established a working group to assist with the problems facing Haiti.
The effort to get to a UN resolution is as critical as the issue we are faced with in Haiti, in Ukraine. So we intend as a small country to ensure that the challenges of all of the world is represented. We intend to ensure that the issue of democracy, the issue of territorial integrity, that these are issues that we must champion, and we must support measures that seek to protect those who are being affected. But more importantly, the issue of global peace must be linked with global prosperity.
The president said Ghana will continue to use its platform on the United Nations to push for the situation in Haiti to receive urgent attention by the United Nations and other international partners.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre discussing the completion of St. Jude Hospital, that project, the rehabilitation of roads, the reform of healthcare and law enforcement sectors right here in St. Lucia during a wide-ranging interview on Radio 100 Helen FM Thursday with Stanley Lucien. He said that the government is also examining the payment of the 2020 St. Jude project through a Panamanian account, and the commission paid during the former administration. Here is Stanley Lucien.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Philip J. Pierre, was questioned on the issue raised during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly concerning the payment of the balance of a loan from the Export-Import Bank of Taiwan to a Panama-registered account, a departure from the normal route of funds being first deposited with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank for onward transfer to St. Lucia's consolidated account in a local bank.
When government secures loan funding or any funding, it goes two ways. It goes to the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, it goes to our call account there, and it's transferred on demand to the consolidated fund or to the Bank of St. Lucia. In 2014, the Taiwanese we went to Caribbean Export-Import Bank and we borrowed some money. The money came account in the ECCB for onward transmission to the government of St. Lucia. That's in 2014. I can read the agreement to you now. In 2020, that money went direct to a company that was registered in Pan.
So it didn't go through the Caribbean Development Bank?
No. So
the Eastern Caribbean.
These are the facts.
How irregular is that?
Improper. Now, as to the motives, I don't know.
Prime Minister Pierre says added to the irregularity of the route of the payment was, he says, was not done with previous disbursements of the very same loan. Though falling short of making accusations of any wrongdoing, Prime Minister Pierre said the matter is being examined.
A commission was paid in the last transaction.
But isn't that normal, is it?
It wasn't paid in the first.
And the commission was paid to do?
That's what is being found out. It's being looked at.
The issue of the poor condition of many of St. Lucia's roads was also raised. When can St. Lucians reasonably expect that to be seriously addressed?
Okay. I never want to say things I can't do. Next year is a year of infrastructure. Okay? But before that, you're going to see a dramatic change in at least the road surface in St. Lucia before that.
The Philip J. Pierre-led administration is effectively in the middle of its 5-year term in office, an opportune time to look at its record to date and to discuss its plans for the balance of its term. The head of St. Lucia's government points to the completion of the St. Jude Hospital, the rehabilitation of St. Lucia's road infrastructure, continued economic growth, reform of the healthcare and law enforcement sectors as areas of focus, while pointing to the high cost of living and the effects of climate change as some of the greatest challenges confronting St. Lucia. Stan Lucien for the HGS News Force.
Internationally,
delegates from the world's developing countries are gathering in Cuba. The group of 77 represents 80% of the planet's population. It's known as the G77. This year's focus will be on trade and technology. Our Latin America editor, Lucia Newman, reports from Havana.
Leaders of the world's largest intergovernmental organization have arrived in Havana for the South Summit, the top decision-making body of the Group of 77. The G77 was formed in 1964 within the United Nations system by 77 developing countries that were demanding a new international economic order to give them effect to 134 members. The organization's goal is to allow these emerging countries from the so-called Global South to join forces to articulate and promote their economic interests, as well as strengthen their economic issues within the UN system.
It's not a formal bloc, but it's a negotiating bloc, which is very important at the time of negotiations inside the United Nations and all the different technical apparatuses that form part of the United Nations.
China has been providing consistent political and economic support to the G77 since 1994, but it does not consider itself to be a member. That's why the meeting of the South Summit is called G77 plus China. This year's summit theme, chosen by the host, Cuba, is to improve trade, technology transfer, and innovation for developing countries.
One of the most important chasms and inequalities in the international order is the exclusion of the countries of the Global South in processes of developing knowledge and access to science and technology.
Promoting South-to-South cooperation is developed economies. But while the Group of 77 may not be the richest countries in terms of GDP, together they have the most resources, a none too small fact that reminds them of their strength in numbers. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Havana.
The Detroit 3 automakers are facing their first ever coordinated strikes. Walkouts began after a midnight deadline for a deal on pay passed without agreement. Union of Auto Workers President Sean Fain announced the move in a Facebook Live address hours earlier.
For the first time in our history, we will strike all three of the big three at once. We are using a new strategy, the stand-up strike. We will call on select facilities, locals, or units to stand up and go on strike.
The first stoppages involve 12,700 workers and target 3 plants: Ford's Bronco factory in Wayne, Michigan, GM's mid-sized pickup truck facility in Wentzville, Missouri, and Stellantis' Jeep assembly plant in Toledo, Ohio. Together, the 3 factories are critical to some of the US industry's most profitable vehicles. Fain said he would join a picket line and didn't rule out widening the industrial action further.
This strategy will keep the companies guessing. It will give our national negotiators maximum leverage and flexibility in bargaining. And if we need to go all out, we will. Everything is on the table.
The union wants 40% pay rises to compensate for soaring inflation. It says offers of up to 20%, phased in over several years, are not good enough. Ford says the future of the industry is at stake. It says the hikes demanded by negotiators could double its US labour costs. The firm has slammed the UAW's approach, saying the union never came back with counter-offers. Now the strike is also a headache for President Joe Biden, who had publicly pushed for a deal to avert stoppages.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with C&W Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, C&W Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
Shallow low level patches embedded within a light to moderate wind flow could move across the area and lead to a moderate chance for shower activities over and around the islands occasionally during the next 24 hours. Today, partly sunny skies in general with a 40% or moderate chance of a brief morning showers. Tonight, mostly fair skies initially, becoming partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of brief showers, mainly after midnight. Sunset today will be at 6:13 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 5:59 a.m. That's your weather forecast for today, which came to you with the kind compliments of CW Business.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with C&W Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, C&W Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 WIN FM.
Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase. Will be given back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash back coupons to all our hire purchase customers this coupon season. Starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Horseman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPlay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
True, I know Jah trans when even when I hear the wicked cry, it won't worry me, 'cause their days won't be long, no. Their material gains and their earthly treasures, it won't help them when the going gets rough. And if the easy way of life should turn around and be in strife, what a shame. So tell me who's to blame, yeah, yeah, yeah. Every day your system just keeps getting tighter on the poorer man, causing between one and one strife and confusion. But just like in days gone by, you say the poor man's time is drawing nigh, and prophecy must at last come to pass, yeah. Your evil aims, you know it causes poor pains. Now all your wealth can buy the food that the poor man grows. But don't you run and make no enemy, 'cause you chose your own destiny. Much to blame, you got to meet your fate, oh yeah. Your evil aims, you know it causes poor pain. Now all your wealth can buy the food that the poor man grows. Don't you run and make no enemy, 'cause you chose your own destiny. Much too late, you got to meet your fate, whoa, yeah.
Yes, we're back. Had a rather long lunch, so apologize for that. You're logged on to WINNFM 98.9 for another presentation of Voices. We are well into the second half of today's presentation. It's just about 12:39 by the clock on the wall, and it's Friday, the 15th day of September. Lots of guys gonna pay today, headed downtown with a little chicken in the pocket, checking out the honeys and stuff like that. It's what we do on Friday afternoons down at the bus terminal. By the way, you guys who are taking people back and forth on the buses, it's a hectic Friday. We know guys are coming in from work and back to work. Please be careful on the road. We want to know Monday morning we've had no incidents, anything negative. So those taking care of the passengers, drive carefully, stay safe. It's Independence Weekend. We have lots of folks who are coming in on the ground. So there's a festive atmosphere around the island, both in St. Kitts and Nevis. We love celebrating. This is our 40th anniversary. Tomorrow is National Heroes Day. So the lines are open, 662-0989, 466-0989. Call me and let me know, okay, how we want to celebrate tomorrow. We go straight to the phone lines. Call here live on Voices.
Hey, good afternoon, Socrates.
Sister Henry, always blessed to hear your voice.
I said maybe you're going to roast your breadfruit.
Yeah, you'll get to that at some point.
You finish roasting it?
Well, she left, so I'm here. Well, I'm hungry, as a matter of fact. So at some point, we have to get to that.
No, let me correct something.
Mm-hmm.
When they introduced the breadfruit to the slaves, they refused to eat it. Because they were not familiar with it. So they didn't rush to eat it. I believe most of the eating started after emancipation.
After emancipation?
Yeah.
It was fed.
Maybe that's when they were forced, eh?
Yeah, they were forced, so they had to
some
eat
of the planters who used to give them staples and so refused. Some of the plantations closed. But the slaves were because it is not a part of their traditional diet.
Culture. Uh-huh.
So they did not know what it was, but they fed it to the pigs and the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to pay homage, respect to Antonio Wilson. You know him, the one for the School Apex Cooperative?
Yes, definitely.
I learned this morning he passed.
He passed, yes. Somebody called me yesterday to inquire if that was the same person. Somebody called me yesterday to inquire if that was the same person. I confirmed.
Yeah, I was shocked because Antonio and I labored long and hard in establishing the School Apex. He devoted his life,
Mm-hmm.
In the mid to late 70s. He was recruited from teaching. He was teaching down Fortress, I think. And he was brought to the agriculture department. That's where they had the cooperative. And his job was to try and encourage the start of cooperatives in schools. So we started. I did not attend the first meeting. It was Zita Leibert. I was at Irisham School.
Yes.
She was selected by Miss Warner, Rosabelle Warner. Mm-hmm. And I think she went to ZIZ, and then I was co-opted to go in her place. Oral Hazel, the son of Pastor Hazel.
Yep.
But the Apostolic Faith, he was the first president.
Mm-hmm.
And I became the vice president. And to show you the dedication of Antonio, because it was a new idea.
Concept.
I mean, that Sunday school banking. We started with the banking. And, bit by bit, we introduced the selling of stationery. And he would go to Miss Laws, God bless Laws and TDC. We would take things on credit, like rulers, pencil, pen, and erasers. Those are what we sold at first, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And, he wanted more. And he said, we could try and sell uniforms. And he would come and pick me up at school, and we would go to the island trying to encourage teachers in the different primary schools to, buy from us. And in his little car, he had a small car. He had to drive sometimes to deliver these things to the schools in the country. I don't think he got travel allowance, I don't even think he was properly compensated.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they became more popular, he said, Sylvine, if you could get a place in town, it would be easier because some of the teachers were complaining that they had to come from the country and walk all the way up to Lagreed to collect their supplies. And then when we got to Malone, you remember Malone, right where they are?
Of course,
now.
yeah, the cricketer.
Those who don't know, that was Malone's sports shop.
Mm-hmm. C.L. Malone, was it?
Yes. He used to sell tennis rackets, balls, and sports things.
Yes, cricket, stuff like that.
So after Mr. Malone died, he was able to rent the place. And we started small. I remember that we started to try uniforms. And we would get them from Sun Island Club. But the margin that we were getting, it was nothing. In fact, they give us a little margin and then turn around and sell at the same price we're trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then Antonio said, look, we could bring them in. We started bringing them in with the exercise books to show you how
bringing
life
uniforms
is.
from where? You bought the uniforms in from where? You bought the uniforms in from where?
Yeah, we started bringing in.
From where?
From, the black and white books.
No, the books. I'm talking about the uniforms.
Yes, we started, we brought, I think they brought in some uniform from Trinidad.
I used to make them here.
And, yes, and I'll give you a thing with this, how his spirit could have been killed. Peace Corps was assigned to help with the bookkeeping You know, we were teaching, I was teaching. Most of the other teachers were teaching. And so they assigned the preschool to the school Apex. It was then downstairs, right where Development Bank was. They were getting a room down there.
Okay.
And, you know, our trusting people, you know, we like to trust, right?
Of course.
The preschool disappeared. And when they checked, we had no money. No money, you know. This time we used to buy on credit and then pay as we sell. It turned out that we had no money to buy anything. And so Orwell Hazel and I, we went and took a personal loan from the National Bank twice. And so he would order the black and white books. And bit by bit, you know, he would say, I think he wanted to try selling textbook, but he's afraid. Well, he was afraid of having dead stock. He said, well, if I bring them in and I don't get them sell, what am I do with them?
Right.
So at first we began to credit the books, take the books on credit from Laws. And he took the plunge. And bit by bit he enlarged the range.
It's jump back
so
right
when
now.
you go down there, he or the co-op has books from preschool up to CFBC.
Yes, that's correct.
And it showed the vision. Because, you know, some of us start things and we could only see small.
And that was a labor of love. I can tell you based on what you explained.
I am telling you, he wasn't giving nothing extra. So I want to commend him, honor him for the work he put in. And I want to encourage all the others who are there now carrying on the work to have a vision, the same vision, or your own vision. Because the school Apex has done a lot for this country. We now sell from preschool uniforms all the way up. And so it has come a long way, thanks to Antonio Wilson's dream and all those who work along with him for the years. Now, before I go today, it's my son's birthday, and his name is Anthony.
Henry, congratulations, sir.
Yes. I tell him a while ago, I said I was there.
Yeah.
I said, happy birthday, I was there when you were born. You know, some children don't like, they drop out a tree. I must commend my son. He helps me come and do my shopping and my laundry.
All right.
So I am commending my son, saying thank you for what you do for me and to all my other children.
Beautiful.
So to all the families of Antonio Wilson,
condolences
and all the staff and teachers who work at the school Apex, keep up the good work.
Well, two things before you go.
Hello?
Two things before you go. I first met him when he was addressing the taxi body, trying to get them to form the cooperative. So now, you know, so that was my first interaction with him. Today now, I buy books, textbooks and other stuff from him to send to, the store to send to Anguilla for my grandkids. But when you mentioned the uniforms, I was the first person to start those uniforms up at Sun Island Clothing. So when he said they're bringing uniforms, I was the first person who was given the job to create those uniforms. I was a cutter. I had 6 ladies working with me, and we started that line there and then. So when you mentioned they started bringing them in from Trinidad, because Purple Land is Limited owned the company. I used to call Sun Island Clothing. And so I was the first person who started that line of uniforms for the preschool here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
So he deserves credit, and you deserve some too.
Well, I'm not trying to get the credit. I was talking about we supplied from Sun Island Clothing. But when you say bought them in from Trinidad, Purple Land is Limited actually owned that company, so that was interesting. But over the many years, folks, even in Anguilla, they sent to get books from that outlet because they cost a lot more in Anguilla. So all kudos to him and his vision. And your part you played, the role you played, because you said that you took a personal loan to help to pay off the debt.
Well, I'll give you
the bookkeeper left you guys
up to when I went to university in 82, up to when I came back in 84, I was still the president, you know. And to say, because you know, people don't want to work and no responsibility.
No responsibilities, yeah.
A lot of our people. And Antonio labored, I mean, what I want to say, I said, you're going to retire, you know. But when I got down there, he's still down there. And the cashew has been working with him for years. You know, so So it pays, you know, people may not recognize what you're doing. That's why you keep on singing, keep on doing what you're doing. And I must commend your patriotic song.
Which one?
You know, nobody have to make you a hero, you know. No government.
I have double slice.
It's the ordinary people who see and appreciate what you're doing. You know that?
Well, here's what. Yesterday, I listened to a number of radio stations. They played Elimat Viva Sinkits. They played Miko over and over. They have yet to play double slice.
Yeah, you're not going to play there. I'm not saying the area. But there are other places. Oh, by the way, this morning, Sugar City Rock launching a song competition where people are asked to write a song and submit it. This morning they played one of the things.
Entries?
It came from a young man in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Okay.
So I don't know if other stations, maybe after they do the judging,
Uh-huh.
or if you could get to find out. Very, very good.
But here's what.
How will,
Congratulations to the young man and his efforts.
Yes.
But there's an independent song competition which I entered. My song is called Our Flag. I understand that today they'll announce the winner, so I'm waiting, but very patriotic. But in terms of double slice, they're not playing my songs.
You and the other one,
The other one?
the other singer. Only 2 songs I heard.
Okay.
I heard 3. I heard,
I understand Lord Kent would have sent an entry.
well, Lord can send you one too.
So I understand. Beulah called me and
That's
told me.
good. Huh? It's good to have patriotic feelings. You know, whenever I travel, see, I walk in with my flag and everything. You know, I begin up my country.
Yes.
And I have my data set. I recall when I went to India, going to be a joke. With the, you know, each country, I just say what country you're from, what is your GDP, your status, and whatnot, your rate of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a lot of countries are from the continent. And they get up, and, you know, this poverty and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And they rate. So when I got up and I gave my statistics, a fellow from Kenya say, how big?
How big?
He can ask me the most thing funny. How large is the population? This time they don't call it the 30-something, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And the 100 and something million.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me, well, how big is the population? When I say, must say 50-something thousand.
Mm-hmm.
How you all get it do?
Smaller can be better.
You know. All right, then, let me hang up so other people can come.
Okay,
so, condolences to the family of Antonio Wilson. Happy birthday to my son, Anthony.
Well said. Have yourself a most wonderful weekend. And that was our first afternoon caller, Sister Stephen Henry. Always have a invaluable contribution to make. Of course, I recall the gentleman, Mr. Antonio, who ran the school Apex outlet there on Princess Street. Yes, I got a call yesterday inquiring if that was the same person because somebody from overseas wanted to know. Sadly, he has passed, as we know. As you blink, some other notable would have passed on. But as I said before, he or she who faced death don't understand life. It means that while you're alive, you have to live. Live, not just exist. Okay? So, lines are open. I would like if anyone can call me and tell me how they're feeling the vibes of independence. Tomorrow is National Hero Day. Heroes Day. We are told that the ceremony to honor the heroes will be done at the monument in St. Paul's. The question is, would you rather go there? If you want to call and have a discussion, where do you think that ceremony should be held? At the National Heroes Park, where you find display of the 5 heroes, national heroes, and then you have the others. So let's see what this caller have to contribute. Call your live on Voices.
Good afternoon, King.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome back to the program.
Did the question apply to me also?
Yes. It's a national thing. So tomorrow is National Heroes Day. What do you think? This is your opinion that the ceremony should be held. The observance should be at the National Heroes Park. We find the statues of the 5 national heroes on display, or down at St. Paul's where there's one figure.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
How many monument, I mean, it's physical representation of in terms of the statuette is down at the St. Paul's area.
One that
As
of
opposed to how many statuettes of the national heroes are a part of the national heroes band.
5.
And okay, thank you. So what you say, we have the first past the post system here, where they say majority rules.
Those guys are not voting, you know. I'm just asking, what is the best place to have the ceremony?
I mean, yes. Given the fact that the monument to our great first national hero was erected down at Temple, yeah, you do a ceremony. But the prompt and ceremony and the, would only be fitting to the National Heroes Bank, which was established under another administration. So what? To what? Are we going to be so simply now thinking that we're going to pass this type of minute tribal politics to our next generation?
Africa, we're quick to blame the white man for distorting our history. But here in St. Kitts Nevis, we're doing it ourselves. We're teaching selective history, and it's wrong. It's very, very wrong. You're miseducating our people.
And so that's just my take on it.
Okay.
Well, my eldest daughter, she happens to be born on the 16th, so she's celebrating tomorrow. So I'm
Congratulations.
saying, hey, kudos. But regardless.
Congratulations.
And so, I wanted to divert into something else, though, with your permission.
Certainly.
Yes, quickly. Last Monday, you was missing in action. I saw you at the airport. Seemed as if you was about to leave Ireland for a moment.
Not really, but go
So
ahead.
we had a discussion on which jamster fit in for you. It was the program.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making the point. And I heard on the news that there is a G70 meeting in Cuba of the 70 nations back then. I think that came out of the non-online movement, if you know the history from back in the days.
Not familiar with it.
Okay, anyway, but China wasn't a part of it, but they say now 70 plus because they have invited China. Anyway, the G20 meeting was held. Not only that, there was the Africa Climate Summit was held in Nairobi, Kenya. And there was a flag raising ceremony in Barbados to commemorate the inaugural launch of the CARICOM African Union, CARICOM, merging together as the CARICOM is the 6 regions of the African Union. And so that flag raising ceremony was held in Barbados to commemorate the September 7th meeting in 2021. So I did all of that. But what came out of the Africa Climate Summit, it was that, guys, the world, the planet, and the atmosphere is not warming up, heating up faster than what we think. And you who have the wherewithal, because none of us have the monopoly on everything. China have the technology. The African space is a broad space. We can provide the green space, provided we get the technology and the capital. And let's say, for instance, Europe and the US has the capital. Let us get together and do it, because whatever our tropical climate is, we thank that the Hurricane Lee, that intensifies so fast to a probably Category 4 hurricane. And there are others. If we are in the tropics, we're going to feel some sort of what climate condition comes our way. If Europe, they're in the north, they're going to feel the blizzards, or the blizzards, as the guys would say. We saw what happened with the earthquake in Morocco. And as I spoke on the Monday, come the Friday morning, I heard the news about this the tropical disturbance that came towards Libya, just neighbors to Morocco.
Yep.
And the devastation it caused.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I'm not a predictor of
gloom and doom.
A prophet of doom and gloom, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I did not say that to say, well, I said it and it happened so because of me. No. It is what is it. It is what it is. And it is said that almost 20,000 feet dead.
Okay.
So I say, let us, all of us, put what resources we have to try to fix this, reverse this. Mind you, Africa stands to benefit, but others stand to benefit also, because you're going to be living in a more conducive climate where, you know, the likelihoods of food shortages and deaths and all of that will not come your way. But Africa will stand to benefit because the millions of people will find jobs and have other setups and, you know, within the innovation. You heard the sister about breadfruit innovation.
Definitely.
Huh?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's the point I wanted to make. And it's still there. It's still there. Yes, we are praying people and we are spiritual people. But I'm telling you, when something's coming our way, no matter how we pray, because of the phenomena that it is, it will come. You know, it will come.
I got a quick question to ask you, though.
And
Go ahead.
we pray for it to divert from us. It might hit our neighbors. My sister might live in Antigua or in the Bahamas or in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they get hit. And she becomes a victim of that storm. So, you know, we are in this thing together.
Okay.
That's the point I want.
I got a
You
quick
have something
question
to
to
say?
ask you as it relates to your industry. I'm going to ask you if you heard about this. I'm reading an item. It says St. Kitts and Nevis 4 Seas cruise visitors below Team Unity's administration 1 million visitors last year. Record 70 cancellations confirmed for upcoming season. Have you heard anything about that? We're going to have 70 cancellations. What does that mean?
Yes, I heard it. I might say it might have been a rumor, but it has been confirmed. I heard it. I am going to talk about it. But I wanted to even ask you just before I started to speak. There's a new WhatsApp system where you will get messages as to the cruise ship and the airport, you know, functions. Have you gotten that?
I'm not sure. Yes. I've got that from the Tourism Authority.
Cool. All right, good. Yes. Well, I'm hearing it. I want to get more information because I want to ask a few questions as to why that's the case. Like, for instance, we was expecting a ship on Wednesday.
Yes.
For what reason it did not come?
Weather related.
I was told, and I'm not sure it is how accurate that information is, that it went to St. Thomas, one of the port of calls. If that be the case...
No. I have a friend who called me from St. Thomas, and we discussed it. That ship didn't go there, based on what we discussed, because they were actually expecting that ship to go there also.
Oh.
Because we discussed the ship cancelling here, and what she said to me that they expected that ship there, anticipated, and it didn't show. So it didn't leave here for St. Thomas on purpose. I'm told that the decision was weather-related, tied to the location of Hurricane Lee, wherever it was. They decided to whatever with the area. So,
and wisely so. We know. Wisely so, because you know, the ship will come some other time, and so it would be best that they go
safe.
When I say higher ground, you know, we use those terms. But and I even had the conversation with the individual, and I said, well, sometimes, you know, there are conditions where, you know, the wind is not so strong on a particular island, and then the other port of call will take the ship with the wind is not so strong there. So well, I go through all those channels to say, well, you know, the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to get your input on that.
Yes, I'm working on that 40 thing, and I want, as soon as I get confirmed and more information, we will have a conversation on it.
Thank you very much.
On this radio station, as usual.
Thank you very much. I think at this point, we do a first station break. We go downtown, give some credit to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Independent Special.
Running September 7 to the 28th.
And during the month of September, the more you shop, the more you save.
You get the double points on all grocery food items and meat, so shop today.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag Specials. IGA and Essential Everyday Frozen Waffles, $10.99. Lay's Stack Chips, $8.99. IGA and Essential Everyday Cereals, $9.99. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, $17.99. Blue Bunny Ice Cream, $22.99. Nabisco Chips Ahoy, $14.99. And now, our very low weekly
value deals. Essential Everyday Pasta, $4.99. IGN Essential Everyday Peanut Butter Crunchy and Creamy, $8.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauce, $6.49. IGN Essential Everyday Salad Dressing, $10.99. Soft Soap, Liquid and Soap, $4.99. Essential Everyday Apple Juice, $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, and get double points for more rewards today.
Y durante el mes de septiembre va a recibir puntos dobles para más recompensas cuando hace sus compras. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
Are you ready for a transformation in your living space? Look no further than Horsford's Furniture and Appliances, your ultimate destination for easy living, easy saving. Get ready to experience comfort like never before with our living room set sale event. For a limited time, we're offering an incredible 20% off on all cash purchases of living room sets store-wide. Yes, you heard that right, 20% off. But wait, there's more. When you choose to go with higher purchase, not only will you get your dream living room set, but you'll also receive double cashback coupons for free groceries. It's a win-win. Upgrade your living space while earning rewards for your kitchen. So mark your calendars and head over to Horsford's Furniture and Appliances today. Experience easy living, easy saving with 20% off on all cash purchases of living room sets store-wide. And remember, double cashback for free groceries on all higher purchase options throughout September. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Your home, your style, your saving. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Just enjoying another fantastic Friday here in SKN, the 15th of September. Tomorrow is National Heroes Day, and lots of celebrations will be observing the National Heroes ceremony, the parade, etc., etc. We're looking forward to that tomorrow. My question is, based on what I'm hearing, is that they're going to be having the National Heroes Day ceremony down at St. Paul's. That's a choice that certain person will make. I'm just asking if anybody would weigh in on that discussion as to where they think it would be best to have that ceremony at the National Heroes Park, where you find monuments of the 5 national heroes on display. Talking about the Right Honorable Robert Bradshaw, His Excellency, Dr. Kennedy Simmons, first Prime Minister of the Federation and only living national hero. Former Premier Paul Southwell, former Premier Mr. Simeon Daniel, Premier of Nevis, Sir Joseph Nathaniel France. They're all up there in the space created as a National Heroes Park. And I think that's, me personally think that's the most fitting place to have that ceremony. There's a bus of former Premier Paul Southwell down at, well, between the Craft House and what can be called the Courts Building. That was done this some days ago. I'm told there'll be a Reed Lane ceremony there. There used to be a Reed Lane ceremony at the tombs of the Labour stalwarts at Springfield Cemetery. That, I think, is still being observed, but the actual ceremony to honor all the national heroes, I almost say all the fallen, they're not really fallen, there's one yet alive. And that is where I would go to observe and pay my respect to all of the national heroes, but to head down to one location and give all the kudos to one person, I think it's distorting the history, sending the wrong message to the next generation. It is wrong. I don't care who get vexed with me. I'm not using this platform for my own personal views and to push any political agenda, but we have had in the past a situation that for 20 years, under a certain administration, no mention of the first prime minister was made to the primary school student. You would go to the classrooms, you would see pictures of the Bratcher and then to the other one. Is it still there? Okay, we have lost that caller. Okay, let's take this call. Caller live on Voices. Go on again. We keep trying. So there was a 20-year gap where none of the primary school students, were told anything about the contribution of Dr. Simmons. That was selective history, and it's wrong. Now we have a chance to correct that. It's totally wrong. You know, everybody would have made their contribution. Now, shall we say, we know that it was the Honorable Robert Bratcher who started the discussions and the planning for to take the islands into independence. We had Anguilla, we had Nevis, and St. Kitts, that Tri-Island Union. Okay, let's take this caller. Caller 11 Voices.
Good afternoon again, Socrates.
Good afternoon, Sister Henry.
I learned this morning that they have decided to have the parade or whatever at the Heroes Park tomorrow morning from 8 o'clock. But as people say, it was last ditch.
Last minute, okay. Well, I'm happy with that.
You know. But you see, it is a mentality and a philosophy. Last night I listened to Ian Patch's program, and he played some videos of different people. I think one was Mr. Bratcher, I think. He played one with Dr. Simmons, where he was talking about the status of the independence talk prior to 1980, which is quite interesting and revealing. Because if you remember, the beginning talks were between the Nevis government and the Labour Party. Of course, Sim Daniel had already said secession at all costs. And what was proposed by Mr. Bratcher, I remember Anguilla had gone, the Queen said they could go.
Yes.
Yes, but he, in his mind, Anguilla had to go along with St. Kitts and Nevis. And the proposal he made is similar to the one for the associated state, in that Anguilla and Nevis would have council, island council. Not island government like Nevis, you know.
Island councils.
Island council, where he had influence, because in the case of the island council, he went and appointed who he wanted in Anguilla and in Nevis for the associated state thing. So the people said they want more power than
autonomy.
That. Because all the power to make decisions would lie with the central government.
Yes.
And so, as Dr. Simon said, they were going into independence without a constitution. I think they wanted to use the 67-1.
The statehood?
Statehood one. Because there was no discussion about any constitution, you know. In fact, he said it was, I remember, because I used to listen, it was agreed that Nevis would go, and they had 18 months after which they could secede.
Clause 113.
18 months, you know.
Clause 113.
Well, it wasn't in there yet.
Okay.
The British government said, well, since you want to go, you could go. 113 went after in the next discussion. And so, Limo, you remember Limo said he going to drop independence on everybody like a hot potato?
No, it was, well, he may have said that, but it was Mr. Bratcher who said, out statehood, in independence, I'm going to drop it like a bomb.
Oh, Mr.
Mr. Bratcher
you
said,
understand? No
out
discussion.
statehood, in independence,
So even, yes.
I'm going to drop it like a bomb.
So even the talk of the white paper, no recommendation was made to Mr. Bratcher that Limo made, you know. and they were highly involved. It never occurred to them, you know, what they were proposing. They want a government for Nevis, one for St. Kitts, and one for the Federation.
Well, that is why Nevis was protesting.
Yeah, but when Mr. Blatter was proposing, Limo didn't propose that, you know. I went to a number of the meetings there. I went to one at Newtown. Pure confusion. You know, but we're supposed to be in 2023, must pass that stage.
Of course.
Pass the stage. When you encourage people to boycott your own nation building for 10 years, from 93 to 20 when? 2013?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a senior taxi operator who told me that he did not know the anthem because they were told.
He was the only one when they
were told not. They were told to boycott.
Yeah.
So he told me, I don't know the anthem because we were told. Yes.
They wouldn't get. They go to the park. They wouldn't get up. You don't understand? No, I am saying, all right, it happened. Let us move on in 2023. So they boycott only when they're in something is. And the thing with Mr. Bratcher's statue, if they're really concerned about Mr. Bratcher's statue, they would have had that statue done correctly, you know. Mr. Bratcher has up the wrong hand in the ear. You know that?
I've heard that, but I don't know the details.
Yes, his right hand was injured, damaged. His hand was damaged.
At the factory, I'm told, when he was working there?
Yeah, well, while working in the
sugar factory?
At the factory.
Machine room?
He damaged his hand.
Yeah.
Now they go and make a statue that really doesn't represent Mr. Bratcher, with all honesty. He has the damage hand up in the air. He couldn't do that.
Okay.
And so it was this. I heard him long time on the radio, won't call the name. If Dr. Drew go into that place, what they going to do, what they ain't going to do. So, now,
he's got to show some more maturity than that, huh?
I heard people on a station saying it, you know.
Okay.
Don't go in there, Timothy, make it. Without even thinking.
That's a juvenile mentality.
Nobody knew what Mr. France looked like, you know. I mean, the younger ones. It was always Bratcher had a statue, and Mr. Southwell had one. But Mr. France was in the movement before either of them.
That is correct.
And no credit is given to Mr. Manchester.
None at all.
And I tell somebody, Mr. Bratcher went in poor. Mr. Manchester lost. He lost. Mr. Challenger, whatever his failing.
Hardly any mention.
They don't even mention because when we're asking about who is the father of the nation, it really should be Manchester. Is it because of his color? Some say he was mixed, some say he was white.
His color was used against him.
I'm telling you.
His color was used against him.
So we build up this hero thing around Mr. Bratcher and then ignore people who really sacrifice. I'm not saying Mr. Bratcher didn't sacrifice.
Of course, he made his contribution.
But what Mr. Manchester did and Mr. Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
And they brush them aside and they're making a hero.
Even Sebastian.
But don't even go there.
Even Sebastian.
Because I spent 5 years in the archives, and Mr. Sebastian,
mm-hmm.
he was there lobbying and thinking for the masses. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
He don't get no credit. There were other people, the man Nathan, other people was there more active than Mr. Bratcher. I don't say he don't deserve anything. But to make him he's the hero. But all of us in that case, we got to learn to be honest.
I got a question for you before you go. I was in Antigua when I learned that Sir Popian Innes was dismissed. Can you give us any detail as to why?
Sir Popian Innes?
Yes, he was dismissed, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was it wrong?
Was it because he didn't want to sign the new document that just recognized him as a Nevis?
True. Now, remember that the British government had allowed Anguilla to rule itself.
Yes.
Well, remember that day, as far as Mr. Bratcher was concerned, Anguilla could not go without his consent. In fact, he said Anguilla wasn't going.
But this is post Bradshaw. Mr. Bradshaw would have died in 67? No, 76?
No, he died in 78.
78, yes.
Yes.
So we're now in we're in, what? 1982? 1982.
Yeah, what happened? They sent the bill, and the bill only had in St. Kitts and Nevis.
He was
and
assistant.
Mr. Innes' position was it should have been St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla, because the separation of Anguilla had not gone through the Parliament. You understand? So he stood on what he considered to be a principal stand.
Okay.
So that is how it is. You know, but to see, Dr. Joe is a young man, just coming out, him know the fight go. He have some old people in that party who forever, they say this is the Labour country.
He's got to stamp his own legacy, you know.
They're trying
Dr.
to
Drew has got to stamp his own legacy.
And he's a young man. I mean, some of the old people, they're looking, they have access to
vendettas. They're vendettas. He cannot allow himself to be used to satisfy his vendettas. He have to stamp his own legacy.
How are you going to explain to people that you're going to leave the 5 heroes, 3 of which are Labour, going down to the country to one, and they're saying, oh, why they don't carry them down here? Why they don't carry? Why did they have one say how they had a place to make a park? You India since 1998, first one. All the years you India till 2013. Why you didn't do it? Why nothing was made to represent Mr. France?
I have a lot of hopes for Dr. Drew. He's a young person.
But he got to redeem himself, you know.
That's what I'm saying. He has to stamp his own legacy and not be used by people who have the long-term vendettas. With a new age, a new day, let the young people get the history as it is. Don't follow that selective nonsense. We're too advanced for that.
You know, him said the other day, the speech he made on Wednesday on freedom. I said he had months in which all the journalists asking, we want to know about the 21 million. We want to see the report. How much? 7 months, 8 months he had that report. When he told me on the radio, you know, I want to do it, you know, but I was advised not to. I must wait. And one of them said, yes, wait for the opportune time to talk.
How many advisors do you have?
It's the season when we should be trying to get our people together in celebrating our country's independence. He could have done that. What he did Wednesday, he could have done it long time since January, or he could have waited and do it after all of the independence celebration.
Don't not mar the ceremonies with that nonsense right now.
So all we have now, green, no orange. Orange and red. Got to fight.
We don't need that. We supposed to be more politically mature and advanced than that. As I said,
when are we? That's why I tell people I'm a party, you know. Because I cannot be a part of this divide and conquer. And we're not getting anywhere. As I said before, a lot of our talents, all the parties having people with talent. So when you go and this is Labour country, then everybody is supposed to buy a passport and go. That's what they're suggesting. So it will be there.
We will secede in Sunday Point, so we're safe.
So anyway, you can come to town in the morning, all of you, all of us, and celebrate.
Well, I'm happy that it's there. I will support that 100%, and I will be there.
It was not on the
It's
the
our
first
nation.
program.
Okay, I'm happy to hear
All right,
that.
so
And thank you
all
for
of
calling
you-
to clarify.
Yes, so you can go and see all this on television now, or watch.
All right.
All right then.
Appreciate that.
So
Enjoy.
God bless the Federation.
God bless our
St. Kitts and
federation.
Nevis.
There we go. And we go straight back to the phone lines. Call your live on voices. Just missed that caller. Please, if you can retry, get back in. We have about 5 minutes. We can give that to you to see what you have to say. Your live on voices. Go right ahead.
Yeah, greetings, the King.
Go to here again, sir. How are you doing?
Yes, I hear listening to the ideas. And everyone tastes different, eh? But how I view this thing as Heroes Park, where the man put a park there lately, that park to me, it gone in an area that no one neighbors Stringberry. I think they should upgrade the Heroes Park in St. Paul's. Because, trust me, I think that the people who want to go to St. Paul's tomorrow, they need to go if they want it to. Because I tell you from the bottom of my heart, where the place that park over there is nowhere. Check, they have Dutch and everything buried in St. Paul's, and if they want, they can even see them down there with them. They could have put them together down there. Because that's where the beginning it starts. And trust me, Sylvie, no, she getting boring now, you know. She intelligent.
You're called to express your opinion. I'm not arguing with you. I have a different opinion. She's entitled to have hers.
Sylvie just take too long. Sylvie just and if they got up the wrong hand and she said, he's still the man hand. There is simple matter, and they're making these things just drown out and, you know, political, and she's saying it's non-political, but I think that we're going nowhere with our confusion.
Okay.
You know, loud talk of this, man.
With respect. Okay, we got about, 3 minutes. Let's take this callers. Call 11 voices.
Good afternoon, King.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program.
The King?
Yes, sir.
Do you know these three political parties come together to form the government 2015?
That is correct.
The three political parties between Mavis and Sink. It's two political parties in Sink and one in Mavis.
That's correct.
And they make a decision about the Heroes Park.
Okay, got your point.
The King, me no politics with nobody. I done with the blind politics. And I think after 40 years of independence, I believe that I could have done some people and political immature and political educated and move from the political ignorance. You understand?
I'm hearing you.
Time now we move from the political ignorance. This party business, it come like some of them pay more attention to the party and the country. As long as the party in government and nothing will happen, that's what happens. If something wrong going, they think. Man, this is our country. We got to speak out if we see something wrong. You understand?
Of course.
Because this country is ours. Any government get in there and they do anything, they do it to benefit the country, they do it to benefit the people them. As long as the people are not against it. It's supposed to be when any government get in, it's supposed to be when a party, your party get your party cause is happening.
Government on behalf of all the people.
Government functioning at the same time. We got to pull the King. If we don't pull our blind political culture, where we are in this federation of thinking, we will never see nowhere. We will never see nowhere politically. We make them politicians accountable for things where they do and everything. We will never see nothing.
Okay.
And the thing what going on now, is listen, they elect the government, and I respect the government. They elect a government, and I had a back and forth to argue with nobody, abuse nobody, because we went to the poll 2000. Just the other day.
Wrap it up for me, please. We're almost out of time.
Okay, then you can, yeah.
Much appreciated. Sadly, I have remarked that the last time I saw this country come together in jubilation, right? No party lines. It was when Kim Collins won gold and the entire country came together in one proud moment of celebration. I long to see that happen again. There's a time and place for everything. When Kim Collins won gold and it was flashed across the screen, that sense of pride. The entire country came together, one big celebration. We were one people. St. Neil is proud of the moment. We are celebrating our 40th independence anniversary. And we're getting rancor and party politicking nonsense. We ought to be more politically mature than that. Let all the people, nationals, citizens, friends of the Federation, enjoy this moment, celebrating as one for achievements, giving God the glory. I want to wish you the best of the rest of the day, the weekend. Come tomorrow, we celebrate, we honor our leaders, our national heroes. Come Monday, it's going to be Tuesday, Independent Day the 19th. Let's all celebrate and be grateful for this moment. With that, I wish you adios.
is a public service announcement.
Brace yourselves for the ultimate shopping extravaganza that you've been waiting for. Get ready to be blown away because double cashback coupon season has officially landed at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Can you feel the excitement in the air? It's that magical time of year when Horsford's paves the way to your dreams by giving away millions in free groceries with every Flex Pay Higher